Hi, Bessie. I'm really sorry I missed your call. I was at my new part-time job. Did you want something?
Your new part-time job? Since when? I haven't heard anything about you working.
Yeah, I started working from mornings until about this time during the week.
Why? I'm surprised. This is all very sudden. Is this a roundabout way of trying to say my son's salary is too low?
Huh? No, not at all.
Then why in God's name have you started working part-time?
Because the world's an unstable place these days and you never know what curveball life's gonna throw at you next. Kevin and I decided together it'd be best for me to work part-time so we can finally start saving properly. We were living from paycheck to paycheck before. Hannah's getting big now and her food bill's growing in proportion.
Getting big? Oh, give me a break. She's 10 years old.
She'll be 11 soon, though. Besides, I can easily make it home after work before she gets off school, so it's not like it has any effect on her. Plus, now we can afford to treat her to nice things more often.
School this, treats that. Oh, you think you're so clever, don't you? You've got an answer for everything. You've always had a knack for answering me back.
Sorry, I really wasn't trying to answer you back. I just want you to understand that me working isn't a bad thing.
Didn't I tell you before? Hannah's a very clever little girl, which means you need to be there to support her as much as possible. She needs more attention than most children.
Right, you did.
You can't seriously claim you're keeping on top of the housework and looking after Hannah properly while going out to work 5 days a week. She has her entrance exams for that special school for gifted children coming up soon, you know. Do you really think this is the time to be playing Little Miss Independent in an office somewhere? You should be at home with your family.
We don't know whether she's actually taking the exams yet. She's been taking private tutoring in the evenings, but she hasn't decided whether she's going to be taking the exams. Of course, we'd love it if she got into a school for gifted kids, but at the same time, it would be a lot of pressure.
No wonder she doesn't know if she wants to take the exams if this is how you talk about them. She has no hope of passing with this lukewarm, half-assed attitude. You call this parenting? It's a dog-eat-dog world, Maria. All the other kids are working their damn butts off to ace these exams. Do you really think Hannah has the time to be dilly-dallying and navel-gazing? It's a mother's job to motivate their child.
Kevin and I are putting what Hannah wants first.
Listen, young lady, and listen good. My Kevin studied his ass off in high school to get into Peepston University, one of the most prestigious colleges in America. Do you think he'd be working at a major global company now if not for my forceful encouragement? Need I remind you that the only reason you're able to live a life of such luxury and comfort is because my Kevin pushed himself and endured a lot of difficult times? I don't need to be told how the world works by some wet-behind-the-ears gold digger with no education who married my son by sheer fluke. I hope you don't intend to raise Hannah to be like you, thinking she can live independently without relying on a man. My granddaughter will not be going down the same path as you.
Please stop talking to me like that.
The only reason I'm being a little forceful with regards to matters in the home, dear, is because you're clearly only good for being a housewife. If you were capable of making more than my son, then I might make an exception. But your educational history and general attitude make it plain as day you'd never have what it takes to succeed in the business world. You've got some nerve working a part-time job as a high school dropout. You're just using this as a tool to get out of doing the housework and looking after Hannah, aren't you?
I'm really not.
You tell me, Maria, stay-at-home housewife or part-time housewife? Which one do you think has more time to devote to the home?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that a stay-at-home housewife would spend more time at home.
Point proven! So you are just doing this to avoid the housework. Oh my God, wait a minute. You couldn't be… Could you? Is this all part of some scheme to find a new man?
Huh? What?
You hear about it all the time, cheating housewives. I'd never do that. Oh, would you look at that? Why so defensive, dear? I was obviously just kidding.
I'd prefer if you didn't say stuff like that, even as a joke.
Enough of this nonsense. The bottom line is that you're clearly not intelligent enough to be trusted to make your own life decisions, so you will do as I say. Thankfully, Hannah takes after her father and not you, but please, stop standing in the way of her chances of success with your unparalleled selfishness. Don't worry, dear, I know you'd struggle on your own, so I'm going to help you manage all aspects of your life. You name it, whatever it is, I'll be here with advice to put you on the right track. Cooking, exercising, gardening. Obviously, study would be wasted on someone with a brain as tiny as yours, so we'll skip that one.
I'm not going to respond to your blatant insults because I know it wouldn't lead anywhere positive. But I want you to know that Hannah's happiness and success are my #1 priorities in life. I chose my new job very carefully, and my boss was kind enough to make some compromises so me working wouldn't have a knock-on effect on things at home, so please, you don't need to worry about anything.
That's nice, dear. Unfortunately, I don't trust you enough to take your word on that. I thought maybe you'd start growing on me one day when we met for the first time 10 years ago, but if anything, I dislike you even more now. It still makes me uncomfortable to think of you as my son's wife. I've never thought of you as family, not even for a second. Maria, are you there? What's all this I'm hearing about Hannah spraining her finger?
Yes, it's true, but you don't have to worry. It's not serious and it won't have any impact on her day-to-day life.
Can she still grip a pen? It was one of the fingers on her right hand, wasn't it?
She has it taped now, so it might be a little difficult for her to hold a pen right now.
What? How the heck is she supposed to study if she can't even hold a pen? You're not fit to be a mother. I've got half a mind to report you to Child Protective Services. It's terrifying how relaxed you seem to be about all this. What is wrong with you?
That's not true at all. Believe me, I wish this never happened.
It's your fault that poor girl sprained her finger, Maria.
Huh? How?
I know you made her take ballet lessons. Why in the devil's name would you make her do anything not related to study? I heard she hurt herself dancing in a ballet class that had absolutely nothing to do with her studies or exams. This is what happens when you make moronic decisions without consulting me first.
I didn't make her do anything, Bessie. She told me she wanted to sign up for ballet class, so I let her.
Why would she be interested in ballet? I can't think of a more mind-numbingly boring activity than watching a bunch of kids prance around like fairies. That time could be better spent studying.
I don't think it's boring. Apparently she wanted to give it a try after one of her favorite comic books did a ballet-themed story. She said she wanted to go to the sports hall to find out what it was really like.
Comic books? You're letting her read comic books now?
Yes, she really loves them. She said coming home from school and reading her comic books is her favorite part of the day.
If she has time to be reading such drivel, then you should be making her study more. Goodness gracious me. Comic books, I mean, really. No wonder the world's going to the dogs if this is how kids are spending their time these days. Stop encouraging her to be interested in useless things.
I don't think they're useless, actually. They make Hannah happy, and when she's happy, she feels more motivated to do the other, less fun things in her life. Not only that, but through comic books, she learns all about people's feelings and life experiences. When you think about it, comic books really aren't so different to novels. They provide rich emotional experiences brimming with poetic sentiments, epic portrayals of scenarios, deftly concocting unique elements to construct unique worlds that stimulate the imagination in ways that few other mediums can.
Make her read novels instead, then. Anyway, do you seriously think there's any point in having her do sports after all this time? She'll never become a first-rate athlete now. She's past her prime. Olympians are scouted at 3 years old these days. Why set her up for failure? Tell her to give up and get back to her studies right now.
Jesus, Bessie, since when are we discussing her becoming an Olympic athlete? I don't think she's that interested. She just wanted to try it out. Jeez.
All the more reason to make her quit before she wastes any more time. Oh, and that reminds me. I asked her what she wants for her birthday this year. Do you know what she said? One thing's for sure, I knew the moment she told me how horrendous your parenting skills are.
What did she say she wants?
A skateboard. What normal elementary school girl wants a skateboard? I can admit, for the sake of argument, it might not be that weird if she was a boy, but a girl on a skateboard? I almost fainted when she told me. Wait a second. You're not letting her hang out with the wrong crowds, are you? There better not be poor children in her friend group.
Is it really that strange that she wants a skateboard? It seems pretty normal to me.
You have got to be joking me. Go on. This is some kind of wind-up trick, isn't it? No one in their right mind could say that with a straight face. Oh, that reminds me. Your neighborhood's full of low-income families and criminals, isn't it? I can't believe my poor granddaughter's growing up in a slum packed with drifters, hobos, and high school dropouts. You seem to be forgetting that your normal and my normal are completely different things.
Would you please stop this? I'd really appreciate if you didn't insult my hometown.
All I'm doing is telling the truth, dear. What, am I supposed to pretend it's full of decent, respectable folk to protect your precious feelings? If Hannah goes off the rails, it's all going to be your fault. I hope you know that. You know, it's bad enough that she has your blood flowing through her veins. It's a miracle she didn't come out retarded. The last thing we need is you corrupting her with your 20 IQ parenting techniques. Oh, and that reminds me, don't bother coming to the wedding. You'll only embarrass us.
What? Do you mean Amy's wedding? Kevin's cousin?
Yes, of course I do. No one else we know is getting married soon, are they, moron? We'll be taking group pictures as a family, which means things will be tremendously awkward if you're there. You know how the saying goes, right? It only takes one rotten apple to spoil the bunch. Stay at home where your revolting poor person aura can't ruin anyone's day. Don't worry about what people might say. I've already started spreading the word that you won't be attending. I told Hannah yesterday, so she won't be surprised when you're not there.
Right, I see.
Next time, don't bother stressing me out by forcing me to go out of my way to cancel you. Here, let me make it simple. Never show your face at any family events ever again, you pathetic disgrace of a woman. If you do anything else to Hannah from here on out, I'll be taking custody of her and bringing her up myself. Do I make myself clear? Kevin might try and stop me, but I won't have it. This is my granddaughter's future we're talking about, and I will not risk her becoming a failure like you. I suggest you turn that peanut in between your ears up to full capacity and start thinking about how you're going to properly educate her. Maria, I heard about Hannah. That's my girl, isn't she just amazing? I heard she bagged herself first prize at the county literature contest.
Yep, she sure did. They're even holding an awards ceremony next week.
Woohoo! Hallelujah! Praise the Lord! I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I always knew Hannah had literary talent. I noticed that whenever we speak over Peep's Messenger, her messages are always so simple and easy to read.
They sure are.
You know, it's funny. I always said she was like her dad. But the older she gets, the more I realize she's actually like I was in my younger days. Back when I was kicking ass and taking names in male-dominated workspaces. Clever and quick-thinking, determined and perspicacious, ruthless and tenacious, diligent, humble. Ah, you know, remembering the good old days like this almost brings a tear to my eye. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yes, Hannah, right. I just know it. One day she's going to be a star with her name in shining lights.
All that matters to me is that she grows up healthy and happy.
There you go, talking utter crap again. I do wish you'd stop this, dear. You wouldn't happen to be a toxic parent, would you, Maria? You do know what one of those is, don't you?
Excuse me?
Go on, admit it. I know the thought of your daughter being more accomplished than you at the age of 8 fills you with overwhelming feelings of terror and insecurity. That's why you're trying to drag her down. Crabs in a bucket isn't supposed to apply to your own daughter, you petty-minded saboteur. Am I wrong? Something tells me I'm not.
Yes, you're wrong. Of course you are. Hannah winning the county literature prize makes me more happy than I can put into words. I couldn't be more proud of how diligently she studies and how hard she works. But more than study or winning prizes, I want to let her focus on what makes her happy. I'll accept her whether she wins or loses.
You'll accept her if she loses? Good grief. I feel more disgusted with you every time you speak. Are you done droning on yet? Thank you for making it clear what a supreme, irredeemable moron you really are. The more you talk, the more you strengthen my conviction that you're not a good fit for this family.
Sorry, but to a mother, a child's happiness is the #1 priority.
And you think I don't care if she's happy? It's precisely because I want her to be happy that I'm trying to encourage her to study. But unlike you, I want her to learn the skills that will make her happy for life. She should be at least focused on her studies until she's an adult. She can start having fun once she enters the grown-up world.
Really? I could have sworn it was meant to be the other way around.
Yes, really. However, there are exceptions in cases where a child achieves something truly magnificent. Then you should treat them to the most astounding first-class luxury to show them what's possible if they work hard. I think we should take her on a family vacation to reward her for winning first prize.
A family vacation? I guess it's been a long time since we all went somewhere as a family. The pandemic restrictions really made it hard to leave the house, let alone go on vacation.
Right, but things are finally easing up on that front, and with that and Hannah winning her prize, I can't think of better timing. I want to take her to my favorite holiday resort. It's more luxurious than you could imagine, and I mean that literally in your case. A high school dropout like yourself wouldn't be able to imagine how lavish this place is.
You're right, I probably wouldn't. I never got to go on vacation much growing up. But thanks, Bessie. Hannah's gonna be over the moon when she finds out.
Don't get the wrong idea, though. You are not coming with us on this vacation. My son and granddaughter are my only family. And this is a family vacation.
Fine, I get it.
Oh, you do? Fantastic. Maybe you do have a brain cell in there after all. You'd stick out like a sore thumb in this resort anyway. Decent, respectable folk of the kind who stay there can sniff out high school dropouts like you in seconds.
What's going on? Why won't you let Mom come on vacation with us? Why are you being so mean to her, Grandma?
Huh? What are you talking about, Maria? What has gotten into you all of a sudden?
It's Hannah.
Hannah? No way. Oh my God, is that really Hannah?
Yes. We can do a video call if you don't believe me.
It's fine, darling, I believe you. I know it might have looked like I was being mean to your mom, but I want you to know that I wasn't. It's just that your mom isn't related to me or your dad by blood, you see, sweetie. That's why she can't come on vacation with us.
But I'm related to her.
Maybe so, but do you understand that me and her are strangers? That means she's not family.
Oh yeah? Then how do you explain my friend Jessica? She's not even related by blood to her dad, but they're still family. Even Mr. Fisher, my science teacher, said so. That you don't have to be related by blood to be family.
Yes, but he didn't mean real family. If he did, he was probably just trying to look cool in front of everyone. Honestly, sweetie, I think it's time you stopped being friends with Jessica. Having people like that in your life never ends well.
Why should I stop hanging out with her? She's my friend.
Well, you see, Hannah, it sounds like you and her aren't a very good match.
Yes, we are. She's my best friend. Okay, here's a question for you. Are you and my grandpa who died family?
Well, yes, of course we are. It's precisely because we're family that your father was born.
But you and him weren't related by blood. That means he's not your family.
That's not quite how it works, sweetie. Things are different when you get married.
Nothing you're saying is making any sense. To me, it just looks like you're being mean to Mom for no reason. There's a word for what you're doing. Bullying.
Bullying? No, I'm not bullying anyone. Listen, darling, your mother said she didn't want to come with us on vacation. That's the real reason she won't be joining us.
I can read, you know. I saw all the things you said to her. Stop treating me like an idiot.
I'm not treating you like an idiot at all. I think you're a genius, Hannah. Kids as smart as you are few and far between, but sometimes you just have to accept that your grandmother knows best.
I know I'm not wrong. I'm not, am I? Go on, say it. That's not all. I know all the other stuff you've been doing to Mom. Like how you make her eat cold leftovers while everyone else eats freshly cooked food when we go over to your house. Dad didn't notice, but I did. I always wondered why you were doing it. You make her eat dried up food to make her feel bad, don't you? Admit it.
No, dear. It's not like that at all. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. I probably just made a mistake. Of course I want your mom to eat my delicious home-cooked meals.
Liar. I do lunch duty at school, so I know. I know that if you were feeding everyone from the same pot, there's no way it'd go all dried up and crusty like that.
Listen, Hannah, if it ever seemed like I was being mean to your mom, it was only because I wanted her to be a better mother to you. I was never trying to be mean or bully her.
She already is a good mom, the best mom in the world. I would never have won that prize for the literature contest at school if not for her.
Your mom helped you win that? How? Surely that was because of your own hard work.
Mom's been reading books every day since she was a little girl. She reads regular books, novels, manga, anything you can think of. She knows so much stuff and she always teaches me interesting things. I would have never been able to write my story if not for her helping me.
Wow, really? I had no idea.
That's why I got into reading books and started writing myself. My mom's amazing. She can do anything. She's the smartest person I know. So you better stop being mean to her.
Okay, Hannah, I'll stop, I promise. I'm really sorry I was mean to your mom. I swear I'll never do anything like that again.
I'm not the one you should be apologizing to. Mom is. But you know what? I never want to see you again. You're a big mean bully and I hate you. Bye.
Hannah, no! Wait, please! I'll say sorry to your mom. Please, just give me one more chance. I'm begging you.
Hannah's not reading your messages anymore.
Maria?
Yes, Maria.
You have to set Hannah straight. Tell her the truth. Explain to her that I wasn't bullying you.
Why would I do that? Are you telling me to lie to my own daughter? Anyway, she already knows the truth.
Lie? No, it's not like that. Is there really any need to drag an 8-year-old child into our business?
You're right, there isn't. I couldn't agree more. I don't see any need to go out of my way to explain this ridiculous situation to her either. Which is why I made a point of never saying anything bad about you in front of her. Even still, she knows. Children aren't stupid, and especially not Hannah. It doesn't take a genius to realize how differently you were treating me to her dad.
Liar! You say you've made a point of never bad-mouthing me in front of her, but you showed her our goddamn chat logs.
Nope, she stumbled on those by accident. But my mind is made up and my will is firm. I worked so hard to try and win your approval and have you accept me as a member of this family, but I'm done. I am so done. I don't want anything to do with you from now on. I'm terminating our relationship. Forever.
Don't say things like that. All I did was give advice. Everything I said with yours and Hannah's best interests at heart, I swear. Perhaps sometimes my words seemed a little cold, but you know what they say. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind.
I see. So insulting me for being a dumb high school dropout and banning me from all family events counts as advice now, does it? It's actually really impressive, Bessie. You know all these definitions for words that I never knew existed. You're a genius. I see. Fine. I'll apologize. I'm sorry, okay? I promise I'll never be mean to you again. Can we all be friends again and put this silly drama behind us now? Go on. Go and set Hannah straight. I don't want to hear any more of this nonsense about never seeing her again. You really are something special, huh? Even while apologizing, you can't resist barking orders at me, can you? Kevin's with us on this one, by the way. He says having you in our lives is too stressful and he can't take it anymore. It's not just me and Hannah who never want to see you again. None of us do. What? No! No! I didn't feel like causing a big drama when I was the only one being affected by your toxic behavior, but Hannah knows now, which obviously means she told her dad, too. There's no reason for me to carry on putting up with you anymore now that the cat's out of the bag. No, wait. Hold on for 1 second, young lady. I just apologized, and this is how you act? Hannah is my only granddaughter. You can't do this. You can't kick me out of my own family. You can't. You can't. How am I supposed to live on my own? Not my problem. How about looking in the mirror and asking yourself how you're so rotten to the core that you were able to continue bullying me for 10 whole years? You had endless chances to make this right. Maria, please. I'm so sorry. I mean it. I've never been this sorry about anything in my life. Listen, Maria, if you want to know the truth, it's not that I don't think of you as a member of this family, because I did. I did the whole time. It's just that I was too stubborn and prideful to admit it to myself. But this has been the wake-up call I sorely needed. I can see it now, how horrible I've been, how much unnecessary pain and torment I've put you through. I'm ready. I'm finally ready to change my ways. It's time to turn a new leaf. Get ready to see the new Bessie. I'm fine, thanks. I'd rather not meet her. You know, it's funny. I think a part of me tolerated it because I had this impression that, oh, it's fine, that's just how people are when they get old. But I realize now that that was just a baseless rationalization I came up with to avoid conflict. In that sense, I wasn't being honest with myself either. But I can see things clearly now. Anyway, I'm done speaking to you. I hope you spend the rest of your retirement in soul-crushing loneliness and isolation. Maria, please forgive me. I'll stop bullying you, I promise. That means forever. I'll treat you like royalty from now on. If I ever do anything to annoy or upset you, or if I behave inappropriately in any way, I want you to tell me straight away. And I'll do everything in my power to improve. I'll treat you like my very own daughter. It's cool. I'm good, thanks. Hannah already called you out on your inappropriate behavior, so there's nothing left for me to say. Feel free to carry on being your old rotten self. Treat me like your own daughter? Yuck. I'd have to be insane to want a mom like you. With that, all relations with the mother-in-law from hell were terminated. When I reflect on her 10-year-long campaign of abuse, I realize that I should have gotten rid of her a long time ago. But when I was younger, a big part of me wanted to win her approval. And I thought that if I could just show her how hard I was willing to work to do that, she'd accept me one day. I also found it difficult to find the resolve to break ties because of what a good grandma she was to Hannah. Which meant for a long time, the don't rock the boat side of me won out. Ultimately, it wasn't me who changed things, but my amazing, brave, clever daughter, Hannah. I would never have imagined in a million years that she'd give her grandma what for like that. And my jaw almost hit the floor when I read her messages. But I'm grateful and proud in equal measure for her giving me the opportunity I'd been waiting for. Not long after I said my goodbyes, Kevin got a bunch of messages from his mom desperately pleading for forgiveness and apologizing profusely. Why did she do it through Kevin, you ask? Because me and Hannah blocked her immediately. Unfortunately for Bessie, Kevin was sick and tired of her, and he vented his disgust to her in a very spicy, expletive-laden message. He's been ignoring her ever since. It turns out she wasn't only horrible to me directly. She'd been going around spreading vicious lies and bad-mouthing me behind my back, too. Eventually, none of her friends or relatives wanted anything to do with her either. She's totally alone in the world now. What can I say? What goes around comes around. It must have all come as quite a shock to her because I heard from one of her neighbors, who also happens to be my friend, that every time he walks past her house, he sees her crying hysterically, alone in her armchair. Do I feel sympathy? Not an ounce. She brought this on herself. I never want to see her again for as long as I live, but if Hannah ever changes her mind and wants to meet her grandma again, I won't try and stop her. I have no idea how long she'll be angry with Bessie or whether she'll ever decide to forgive her at all, but in any case, I hope she continues wallowing in the pain of regret over how she treated me. Who knows? Maybe this could be an opportunity for her to reflect on her behavior and become a better person. Life without the stress of being bullied by my mother-in-law is great, and me, Kevin, and Hannah are having a blast. I feel blessed to have such an amazing family, and I count my lucky stars every day. They're my number one priority now, and I'm determined to work as hard as I can to make them happy and give them both the lives they deserve.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hello there, Sally. You do have a gift ready for next week's memorial service, don't you? I hope you don't think you can forget about your responsibilities just because it's only going to be family and close friends.
Oh, hi, Debbie. Yep, I am as ready for the service as I could be.
Oh, you are? I hadn't heard from you, so I assumed you must have forgotten all about it. You seem very busy with work. You haven't even been cooking for my son recently.
I've had a lot of overtime over the last few days.
I don't want to hear your excuses. How lucky that I happened to pay him a visit with some of my award-winning winter stew. He would probably have starved if not for me. Do you think it's acceptable to let your husband starve, dear?
He'd only just eaten a few hours ago. I'm not sure there was any danger of him starving. Besides, he's more capable of cooking on his own meals.
Good grief, the things you say are beyond ridiculous sometimes. Cooking and housework are a woman's duty. I'll never acknowledge you as my son's wife until you start doing your job properly. How are you supposed to learn anything when you're cooped up in that godforsaken office all the time? Women's liberation was a mistake.
I'm sorry.
I made this crystal clear to you when you two got married, Sally. That you're to be there to support my son.
Yes, I know that, but we both work long hours. It's more like we support each other.
Didn't I tell you I don't want to hear your excuses? You haven't even produced any children yet, and this is how you speak to me. You couldn't be doing a worse job of fulfilling your duties to my son and this family if you tried. You're already in your 30s for crying out loud. Can't you hear the clock ticking, dear? Tick-tock, tick-tock. It's the sound of your eggs drying up. You do intend on providing me with grandchildren, don't you?
Yeah, of course we want kids, but we can't go blindly rushing into a decision like that. The timing has to be right.
Why do you say it like you're waiting for it to magically happen on its own? You make the timing yourselves. Good grief, this is why you're no good. All it is with you is excuses, excuses, and more excuses.
Right. I'm sorry, Debbie.
You think apologizing gets you off the hook? It's always the same with you. You ignore everything I say and think I'll forget all about it just because you apologize.
It's really not like that. It's just that my job is important to me.
Work? Important to a woman? Now I've heard it all. Oh, why don't you leave the boys' business to the boys and start doing your real job?
If you had an ounce of respect for me or this family, you would have had a bun in the oven within a few months of marrying my son. When I was your age, my Darius was already in kindergarten, you know. You need to watch yourself, girl. The clock's always ticking. If you're not careful, the ship will leave the port without you on it, because you're so damn focused on that silly job of yours. Tick-tock, Sally.
Thanks for the heads up, Debbie. I'll bear that in mind.
If only your abilities as a wife were as impressive as your replies. Not that I ever expected much of you to begin with, but this is my son's life we're talking about here, and I will not have it ruined by a second-rate floozy like you.
Hey, Debbie. It was nice to see you at the memorial today. Thanks for all the food. It was really kind of you to make that lasagna, and the meat pie was amazing. You've got some serious cooking skills.
That's because, unlike you, I put a lot of time and effort into excelling in the womanly crafts. Don't get the wrong idea, girl. I did not make any of that food for you. You only got anything because you hung on like an underfed child after the service ended, so I had no choice but to bring it out with you still around. It was only supposed to be for my son and the rest of my family. My real family, that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Why didn't you go straight home when the service ended? I don't remember inviting you to the buffet.
I was about to leave when your husband called me over. He said I should stay because you were just about to start bringing out the food.
What? My Peter said that. Good grief. Whatever will I do with that man? He knows how deeply I detest you. Are you sure you didn't mishear him?
I really don't think I did.
Are you sure he wasn't just saying it to be polite because there were other people around? Yes, that'll be what it was. You weren't supposed to oblige him, dimwit.
Sorry.
That food was supposed to be for my family. In fact, my family should have been the only ones at the memorial in the first place. I only agreed to let you help me with the preparations because you offered. You weren't supposed to actually turn up to the damn thing. What's it going to take for you to learn your place? I'm losing all hope.
From the way you're talking about me, I get the impression you don't think of me as your own family.
Obviously, dimwit. Are we related? No, we're complete strangers.
I'm sure you do think of me as a stranger, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win your approval and have you acknowledge me as part of this family. I'm serious about Darius, and I want to prove that to you, no matter how long it takes.
You become a part of this family. You couldn't win my approval in 10 lifetimes at the rate you're going, Missy. You'll have to stop with these jokes now, dear. My bowels have been loose lately, and an emergency of that kind is the last thing I need.
Still, I'm gonna do my best.
Like I just told you, it ain't gonna happen. Why bother wasting your energy? You don't have what it takes to win my approval. Rather than that, just focus on doing your job as my son's wife.
You mean, have kids?
Ah, what a relief! You do have something resembling a brain in that skull of yours. Yes, giving me grandchildren is the least you could do. If you don't, me and you will be strangers for as long as you live. Naturally, failing to produce children would also mean divorce.
What? Divorce?
Yes, dear, divorce. If you can't do your job as his wife, I'll have him divorce you and marry someone who can. The earlier he gets rid of you, the better. He'll have a wider selection of partners to choose from that way.
But I don't want a divorce.
What you want is of no importance. I'll see to it that my boy has a long, hard think about your future together if you continue to defy me any longer. What good are you if you refuse to produce children? What's the point in being married to a barren wasteland? Men can have kids at any age. As for you, tick-tock, missy. If you won't deliver the goods, I'll have him exchange you for a younger model who will.
Debbie, we're going through infertility treatment.
What did you just say? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I knew it. You're defective goods.
Me and Darius are doing our best in our own way. Please, would you stop saying things like that? Things are difficult enough as it is without you being cruel on top of it.
Is the defective article talking back to me? Back in the good old days, women like you were handed a set of divorce papers and cast aside like the dead weight they were. There's nothing else for it. I was willing to give you a chance before, but now, it's no good. You have to separate.
Even if the treatment fails and we can't ever have kids, I have no intention of leaving Darius.
What you want is of no importance to me, young lady. If you can't fulfill your duties as his wife, there's no point in you being married. I must tell my husband about this at once.
Debbie, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'd really appreciate if you could try to be a little more understanding of our situation. Can't we compromise somehow? To be honest, I was dreading telling you, but I didn't want you to think we were trying. Please.
Let's see. I need to hear what my son thinks about this. All right, fine. Let's all get together for an honest, frank discussion about your future.
Really?
Yes, I'm prepared to accept I've been a little inconsiderate, but I mean it when I say I want grandkids, and that's never going to change. Darius is my only son after all. Surely it's only natural I'd have expectations of you.
I get that.
Make no mistake, this only means I'll hear out what you both have to say. Don't mistake my kindness for approval.
That's enough for me. Thank you.
Don't think this means divorce is off the table either. I'm still prepared to do what needs to be done if you give me nothing but excuses. My son has wants and needs of his own. All right, it's settled. Let's all discuss it over dinner the day after tomorrow. There's a restaurant I've been dying to go to lately.
You want to do this in public at a restaurant? Are you sure?
If I have to listen to a depressing sob story about how my son's wife's womb is a barren wasteland, I at least want to enjoy some delicious food to soften the unpleasantness of it all. Surely you'd feel better about the whole thing if you could enjoy some good food while we talked.
I guess. Okay, the day after tomorrow, right? I'll get ready.
Yes, I'll be picking you up in the car. I'll come to your house first, and then we can pick Darius up outside the station after he gets off work. I take it you do plan on leaving the office on time.
Yeah, I've been finishing early every day of this week, so there shouldn't be any problems on that front. Thanks for going to the trouble of picking me up. I appreciate it.
My husband said the car needed washing, so I can stop by at the car wash before I get you. 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll see you the day after tomorrow.
Hey, Debbie, are you there? You told me yesterday we'd all be coming to today's dinner. I've been waiting ages for you to come and get me now. Is everything okay?
Do forgive me, Sally. I decided last minute we should have dinner with just me, Peter, and Darius instead. You know, my family. My real family. I told Peter not to bother stopping by at your house.
What?
You can watch the house on your own instead. The restaurant we're heading to is a little on the expensive side. Such luxury would be wasted on the likes of you. I know I said you could come, but the more I thought about it, the more ridiculous it seemed. Think about it. How can I possibly justify wasting money on food that good on the likes of you?
Was this your plan all along? Were you lying when you said we were gonna discuss our treatment too?
Me? A lie? Scandalous. I've never told a lie in my life. At the time, I was genuinely considering hearing you out, but then I realized the futility of it all. Come on, dear. What could possibly be gained by hearing some defective article give me her sob story on how she can't provide me with grandchildren? Exactly nothing. So, why have you spoil the atmosphere while we eat? You can stay home.
I'm pretty sure Darius is gonna get up and leave the moment you tell him I'm not coming.
Don't talk nonsense, dear. We already picked him up at the station. He didn't have any complaints when I told him you wouldn't be coming. It would appear he's more receptive towards my remarriage idea than you would have liked to believe.
Huh? No way. That can't be.
Why didn't he object when I told him you weren't coming then? He just nodded his head, and that was the end of it. He's probably just as sick of you as I am. And why wouldn't he be? Do you know how embarrassing it is for a man for his woman to need fertility treatment? You hear stories about it all the time.
Darius thinks of me more than anyone.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Sally. He clearly doesn't anymore. Guess what? I already found several candidates for his replacement wife. He seemed opposed to the idea at first, but he soon changed his tune when I showed him the pictures of his new potential brides. Looks like you're getting tossed to the wayside, Missy.
No way. My husband would never abandon me.
What value does a woman in her 30s have to anyone? What's more, you're damaged goods. You can't even have kids. Stop burying your head in the sand and face reality. Don't think anyone in this family actually likes you just because my son and husband pretended to be nice to you all this time.
You really hate my guts, huh, Debbie?
Obviously, dimwit. You don't have a single redeeming quality. Your face is mediocre, your personality's rotten, you're unfeminine, you couldn't be any plainer if you tried. You're just some sad, futureless, worn-out old hag. You let my son do the housework while slaving away at that damn company you're so obsessed with. And to top it all off, you're incapable of having children. You don't deserve to call yourself a woman. What value is there in you even being alive?
I can't take this anymore. You've made it crystal clear about how you feel about me.
I'm pleased we have an understanding. I suggest you get started on packing up your things sooner rather than later. I'll be in touch when we decide on a replacement wife for my son.
Do as you please.
Don't worry, dear, I shall. It's such a shame to have to tell you this, but your happily married life is hereby over. Hurry up and tell Mommy and Daddy you'll be coming home. Me and my family are breaking all ties with you. Sally, dear, it turns out we were able to reach a conclusion on your future while we were still in the car. Even I didn't expect things to move along this quickly. Both Darius and Peter told me I can do whatever I want.
I see. And you felt the need to go out of your way to tell me that?
Who do you think you're speaking to, young lady? Start showing some manners. I'm still your mother-in-law for the time being.
I don't have any obligation to be nice to you, Debbie.
Whatever, I could care less. If impotently seething like this makes you feel better, who am I to stop you? You'll be nothing but a distant memory before long. This luxury dinner for just the three of us is going to be amazing.
You wouldn't happen to be on your own right now, would you, Debbie?
Well, yes, I am. Why? The restaurant doesn't have a car park, so Peter dropped me off outside while him and Darius go off and look for a space. They'll be back anytime now.
Have you been waiting for a while already?
It's only been 15 minutes. The roads are busy around this part of town at this hour. Don't worry, they'll be back any minute now. Anyway, what does any of this have to do with you? You're the only one on your own here.
Oh, I'm not on my own. Your husband and son are here with me right now.
What? They're with you, but why would they? What are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense.
I got a message from Darius, inviting me out for a meal just after your last message earlier. Let's go out for a meal as a family, babe. Just me, you, and my dad. I'm in the car with them both right now. We're on our way to another restaurant.
Excuse me? No way. No way! You're obviously lying because you're bitter about being abandoned. They just dropped me off outside the restaurant. Why would they possibly ditch me to eat with the likes of you? There really isn't a car park here. It's not like my husband was lying. They just went to find a parking space.
Don't worry. They found a parking space because they drove straight home. They told me all about how you wouldn't shut up about Darius divorcing me and remarrying a more suitable candidate, or making fun of me because of the infertility treatment. Well, Darius's patience finally reached its limit. He's so sick and tired of you, he never wants to see you again for the rest of his life. Your son just disowned you, Debbie.
No way. My darling boy would never do that. Besides, he never said anything in the car. If his patience had really reached its limits, as you claim, he would have spoken out.
Oh, he knows you're so arrogant and so self-absorbed that speaking to you is pointless. He's done with you. He said you may as well forget about him because he's not your son anymore.
Oh, no, you don't, young lady. Stop right there. I can see what you're doing. You're trying to scare me because I wouldn't tolerate the fact that you had the nerve to be infertile. Aren't you? Well, it won't work. As if my own family would ditch me outside a restaurant and leave me to eat on my own.
I can assure you most definitely will be eating on our own.
They have been gone a while. Wait, are you serious? Did they actually abandon me? That's so horrible. How could they do this?
Isn't it obvious? You treated me like I wasn't even human. Did you really think my husband was gonna tolerate you speaking about his wife like that? You had no right to treat me the way you did, and now you're paying the price.
Sally, where are you right now, sweetie? Won't the three of you at least come back to get me? It's getting cold out here.
Sorry, we're going out for a family dinner, which means you're not invited. You'll have to make your own way home.
Oh my god. Don't say things like that. Please, will you tell my son to get his dad to answer the phone? I must have tried calling him 10 times by now. Darius won't pick up either. Are their phones broken?
Nope. Their phones are fine. They just don't want to speak to you.
Fine, you win. Have it your way. I'll hear out what you have to say. Let's all sit down and have a chat like we originally intended. Just me, you, and Darius. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Please, just come back and get me. I don't know the bus routes around here.
No. You can take your chat and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I couldn't care less whether I get your approval anymore. In fact, I'd prefer if you kept it yourself, along with your hateful, malicious comments and outdated opinions.
You don't want my approval. Do you really think we could go on like this, Sally? Get real. You're my son's wife.
I did my best to try and compromise with you, to try and prove how hard I wanted to win your acceptance as a member of this family. I couldn't do anything about the fact I worked long hours and I wasn't willing to quit my job. But beyond that, I did everything I could. I kept on top of the housework on my own to the best of my ability. And even while I was working, I went out of my way to make sure Darius had quality, home-cooked food on the table whenever he got back from work. I went out of my way to make it to family events and gatherings, even booking time off work despite my schedule being hectic. But eventually, I realized no matter how hard I worked, I'd never win your approval. And I've kept pushing myself past my limits. Like that, I only end up in an early grave.
That's simply not true. I was willing to accept you, dear. I really was. But you had to prove your dedication to my son and this family by giving us children first.
You see, Debbie, the problem with that is, I think your outdated way of thinking is disgusting. There was a time when I hoped we could get to know each other and build something resembling a positive relationship one day. But I realized that going out of my way to try and win the approval of someone as toxic as you could never end well. You're the vilest, most black-hearted person I've ever met.
Vile and black-hearted? And what does calling me such awful things make you? Take a look in the mirror, bitch. This is no way to speak to your mother-in-law. You disrespectful little cretin.
I don't think of you as my mother-in-law. My only in-law is Peter, because unlike you, he's actually a decent human being.
Sally, please. I forgot to bring my purse. I'm already sat down in the restaurant. I had to come inside because it was getting so darn cold outside. I ordered some drinks and I'm feeling a little tipsy. I can't pay the bill without my purse.
Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. You seem to be making a tragic misunderstanding. You seem to think that's my problem when it's not.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Just because me and you might not be on the best of terms doesn't mean you have to let me get in trouble. What am I supposed to do? Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is going to be for me? It's bad enough already after no one showed up despite me telling the waiter there'd be 3 of us.
Not my problem. Me and you are strangers, and what you do or what happens to you when the restaurant finds out you're stealing their alcohol has nothing to do with me.
Sally, please, listen to me. I'm sorry. Look, I just apologized, so please, I'm begging you. Won't you all come back and get me? Let's have dinner together.
Nope. We'll be eating as a family tonight, which means you're not invited. You're the one who tried to kick me out of your lives, remember? You're on your own now. Fix your own mess. Good luck finding a new family, 'cause this one's done with you. After that, me, Darius, and Peter all went to a fancy restaurant downtown together, where we had the most amazing steaks. No one had any desire to rescue Debbie from the mess she'd gotten herself into. In fact, we all find it kind of amusing. But since all she ordered was a few drinks, they gave her the benefit of the doubt and agreed to let her go home and come back with the money. She went back and paid the next day, and that was the end of that. However, she didn't have the money for a bus or a taxi. She had to walk back the whole 5 miles to her house at night in the middle of winter. Now that's what I call karma. Debbie was furious at her husband for not going out to pick her up. But when she started telling him off, he suddenly lost it with her and yelled at her so loud it said the screams of rage could be heard all the way from Jupiter. I guess we all have our limits. She soon zipped it when she realized Peter had reached his. He swore he'd divorce her if she tried to pull any of her old crap on him again, and something tells me he knew he meant it. I think we'll be seeing a much quieter, more reserved Debbie from here on out. After she started behaving herself, We decided to tell her the real reason we were going through infertility treatment was in fact because of Darius, not me. Mouth agape, all the color drained from her face before. She immediately got down on her knees and apologized profusely. But there are some things you don't forgive or forget. I'll definitely never forget what she put me through. That said, she did seem genuinely remorseful. She is still Darius's mother, so we agreed not to completely break things off with her. We haven't decided how often we'll see her yet, but we're thinking maybe once a year. 3 months after the events of today's drama, and after finally placing some distance between ourselves and the mother-in-law from hell, I finally fell pregnant. Darius and Peter were over the moon, and we held a family gathering at our place, just the 3 of us. Obviously, Debbie wasn't invited. There was a tiny part of me that felt sorry for her. But when I reminded myself why we were keeping our distance in her in the first place, and